Hello. Life is a paradox where the truth, the right answer, is always counterintuitive as it always contains both sides of the argument. When people say don't listen to negativity and hate, this is counterintuitive because there is no progress without some level of criticism. Peeling back the layers of what is untrue. The scientific method, it would not exist if there was no criticizing. We humans lumbering around in these fleshy bags of chemicals, rarely do we get the right answer on the first try. To trust your inner voice, but to be humble to the adjustments provided by nature around you, that is an answer that resides closer to the truth. After all, you can't make progress if you take to heart all the negativity given to one who tries. Anyone who dreams will innately receive backlash, but at the same time, beneath that rubble of mindless hate, there's always a guiding compass providing you the adjustment you need. The human game is not easy by any means. It's actually meant to be very hard, and as you can see, just imagining mustering the courage to actually trust yourself, but at the same time, being open to taking in criticism, it's no wonder so many break before they even try. Elon Musk constantly seek criticism. A well-thought-out critique of whatever you're doing is as valuable as gold. Truly, the human condition is a test of one's spirit, one's will, more than anything, for when you embark upon any path, if you cannot remain cool, composed in the fire, you will get eviscerated. To care about yourself before you care about others, because you cannot give if you do not have, but giving to yourself naturally occurs only when first giving to others. Rarely can a man or woman attain for their own without the assistance of the world around them, and the world around them will not care for them unless they give to it. The closer that balance is, where all parties win, the more feasible the system you obtain for yourself is. Innately, you cannot give to yourself without giving to others. That is the law of nature. Any deviation too far from balance in any expression of nature will eventually crumble. It is why, when wolves were introduced into Yellowstone, it thrived. Bodies of waters even formed. Animals returned. The whole ecosystem thrived. Freedom. Liberty. For us humans, liberty cannot exist without discipline. It cannot exist without work. Now that sounds so ironic because for many of us, having to work, it innately sounds like slavery. But the truth is, we all have to be responsible for something. Many things actually, there is no choice in the matter, otherwise you will crumble. If we are not responsible for our bodies, our health will fall apart. If we do not take responsibility for our minds, it will fester with stress and demons. If we are not responsible with our relationships, putting energy, attention, time towards them, they will fall apart. If we are not responsible when giving back to the world, our ties with the world will fall apart. The price we pay to experience this world is taking on responsibility. We fulfill those responsibilities with discipline. Thus, we find the only true freedom we possess is our ability to take on responsibility. The less we are able to take on for ourselves, the more we will be told what to do. Thus, the more you will be forced into a responsibility you likely won't want to do because you had no other choice. It's that or you perish. Taking on responsibility, being disciplined to show up to responsibility, that is our freedom. The ability to choose responsibility, to be disciplined to it. The people who voluntarily do so, regardless of the facet of life, will move up in that facet of life. They move up in health if they work on health, mental well-being, work on relationships, it will all get better. The more we choose to take on with our own free will, the more you are permitted to move up in any facet of the human condition. This is true freedom. The choice to choose your responsibilities. The choice to show up to responsibilities. The choice to be disciplined. Through it, you are able to attain and feel just about whatever you wish, so as long as you have the patience, the consistency, the discipline to show up. Much like watering a plant until it becomes a vibrant flower or a mighty oak. The greater the endeavor, the greater the discipline and sacrifice required. The most attractive frame, not just to women, but to people in general, is a balance between dominance, authoritativeness, but also friendliness. If you approach people with just pure friendliness, you give off this manipulative vibe. Like if you were apes in a tribe, you'd be the lowest status in the status hierarchy. It feels like your overly nice behaviors to appease people into giving you what you want. Manipulative. That's what we feel when confronted with overly nice, overly friendly, and no one really respects that because that's what weak people do. On the other hand, if you're overly dominant, authoritative, you look insecure. People might respect you if you can back it up, but they'll either leave you or seek to destroy you if they get the chance to. One, everyone uses you, but no one respects you, thus you're surrounded by many. The other, people might respect you if they cannot destroy you, but no one wishes to surround themselves with you, and they will seek to destroy you when the opportunity presents itself. Thus, you'll likely end up a lonely island with only a few people who truly care. The paradox is, both of these qualities are destructive, but when a balance is achieved between the two, you emanate genuine confidence. You're an individual who is kind, yet maintains a strong sense for his or her own boundaries, with, real repercussions when they're crossed. It's a balance which lets people be free around you to some extent, being able to control a frame where people can be themselves, yet feel no window to take advantage of you innately. It's the ability to say yes, but more importantly, no past a certain line. This is felt in the way an individual carries themselves. It is felt in the tone of their voice. It's inherent to charismatic individuals, a paradox finding balance between two characteristics that are inherently not charismatic at the polar extreme. Life and the paradox of our content can even be seen in the game of Tinder, where if you seek the quick fix of Tinder, take for example women who often end up salty, abandoned by the small percentage of desirable men because they have too much selection to settle down, or the majority who become toxic from all the rejection, thus no longer become emotionally feasible to settle down with. The paradox is, whether you are a man or woman, you attain what you desire by giving it up. You don't seek it. You do not seek the quick fix. What you are seeking is seeking you. Thus, you let it come to you by virtue of working towards the foundation, building the foundation needed to let it flow into your life naturally, mentally and emotionally, letting your inner world manifest physically by staying disciplined to the actions needed to maintain that mental state. If you want it, paradoxically, you do not seek it. You become worthy of it, and it will naturally happen for you. This is the advice many entrepreneurs give once they've made it. Don't look for money or investment. There's an infinite amount of money circulating. Become worthy of investment, and it will be given to you when you present yourself to it. Don't look for the ideal woman. Become the kind of man worthy mentally and emotionally. Let that manifest physically, and it will happen by itself. If you do not compromise on yourself by building your foundation, your inner world, you will not need the world to make compromises for you. This is the paradox of constantly searching. It is all already there, right in front of you. You don't even realize how connected you are with all that you desire. You are so connected. Searching means you do not see it. Building the foundation, working towards, being disciplined too, investing time, patience, efforts towards yourself, building the internal infrastructure needed to feel worthy. That is the game that allows you to seize the world in front of you. The paradox of your outer world is that it all starts within. If you seek shortcuts from the outside world innately, you are telling it you are not worthy. But if you are able to seize it within yourself, you do not have to seek it. It's all already there. Naturally, it will flow to where it belongs. You. I hope you get a feel for these paradoxes, as I'm sure they will aid your individual struggle. I wish you the best on your journey. Until next time, peace.